Hi, I'm Lisa Arana, and thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to be playing with this brand new stamp set from Unity Stamp Company. This stunning little lady needs some fun techniques. So we're going to be doing some watercoloring with distress inks, ink blending, and then also a bit of masked hot foiling for extra shine. So make sure you stick around and assemble this card with me. So let's start with the watercoloring. I have this stunning, fabulous flamingo lady stamped on some watercolor paper using VersaFine ink, a couple aqua brushes, and then all my distress ink colors that I'll be watercoloring with. I'm scribbling them down onto a glass mat. If you don't have a glass mat, you can use an acrylic block or a laminated sheet of cardstock, anything that would be a nice slick surface. And that will be your palette of ink. And then I'm just picking up each color with my aqua brush pen. I'm keeping the water fairly minimal. I'm not even squeezing my pen unless it gets dry. I just let the pen handle how much water it likes to provide, unless I want to dilute down some of the ink. Otherwise, I don't really squeeze unless the pen is really getting dry and that ink is not moving like watercolor anymore. The colors I'm going to be using for her skin are Tattered Rose, Antique Linen, Tea Dye, and Vintage Photo. Starting out with a little bit of the pink, which is the Tattered Rose on her cheeks, and then maybe just a little bit here and there on her skin to kind of give it a little bit of a rosy hue. Went over everything with Antique Linen, and then coming in with some shadow with the tea dye and vintage photo. I'm doing a light hand because I can always build up color. It's just really harder to take away the color. It's possible to add water and then dab it to kind of lift some of that color and start again. I just prefer to go light-handed and then build up my color so I don't have to attempt that. So once I was done with her skin tones, I'm going to move on to the fun colors. For her hair, she needs obviously silver hair, so we're using ice spruce, and I'm just dabbing that on and coloring in her hair. I love the stamp. It's so detailed that I don't really have to work hard for shadow because it's built into the stamp already. So really I'm just laying color over the stamped image and letting the detail do all that hard shadow work for me. So I finished her hat in the Dusty Concord, added a little bit to the feather, the peacock feather that she has on her blouse. And then I'm coming in with salvage patina and peacock feathers for her blazer. Just thought, peacocks, peacock feathers. We gotta have that peacock feather color from Distress Inks. Again, I'm using a light wash and then coming in with shadow for the blazer with the peacock feather darker color and then adding a little bit of ice spruce for that shadow. For the flamingo cane head, I used picked raspberry, and I really didn't have to do a lot of work on this either. I did a light wash, and then anywhere that I wanted a darker shadow, I let that light wash dry and then came over again with another layer of that picked raspberry. I let this dry really well. I'm gonna add it to a sticky mat so I can do some ink blending. I stamped this out on some copy paper and then I'm just going to fussy cut it out really close to the line. I will be doing some hot foiling over the top later, so I didn't want to use sticky masking paper just in case. I don't know how that would work. If you want to give it a go, give it a try, but I do know that this ended up working out fine. So I used just plain copy paper and repositionable tape, and that worked out just fine with the hot foiling. So once my mask was in place, I'm going to do some ink blending over the top, starting with spun sugar. I'm doing lots and lots of layers. It does take a lot more effort when you're using an ink blending brush and the little mini cubes to build up that color. But I just keep going. I just keep blending, blending, blending until I get a nice coverage of that soft pink. Next, I'm gonna come in and do a wide blend of the medium tone color, which is Worn Lipstick. I made my light color really wide blend as well, so I get a nice transition between the two colors as they overlap. And then just around the edge of the paper, I am ink blending on some picked raspberry. Just matches that flamingo color that I used in the watercoloring of the image. Again, just blend, blend, blend. Keep blending until you're happy. Next up, let's do some hot foiling. I have this gorgeous Aurora foil. I just laid it out to get a size about the size of my panel and then cut that with a rotary blade. Made sure my hot plate was really nice and hot. I'm using a plate from Pink Fresh Studio called Sparkle and Shine. Laid down my hot foil so the pretty side was touching the plate. Put my watercolor panel on the top, and then I'm rolling this through my Big Shot twice. I don't need any shims for my sandwich, so just make sure you double check your specifications for your machine. And then I just peeled away that foil, and don't you just love that shine? Next, let's get rid of that mask, and it peeled away beautifully, and now we have our masked watercolored image with all that hot foil shine. And to finish off the card, I just die cut her down a little bit and masked her with some black cardstock, added a sentiment from Hello Fresh Start, plus a bit more shine with a clear glitter pen. And here she is in her final fabulous, stunning glory. I just love the combination of that watercolor masked with the hot foil shine from those twinkling stars. Thank you so much for creating with me. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoyed. And then also check out my channel. I have a lot of other crafty videos to inspire you. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you again soon for another video. Bye!